what is the occupation that you are currently in? I'll just talk in general. My occupation, if it's a bigger picture, is actually a civil engineer. My background, my emphasis is actually structural engineering. But however, that's my education. I have my master's degree from UCLA in structural engineering. And after that, I started joining with the city of Los Angeles as a civil engineer. I have been working with the city of Los Angeles for over 30 years. And my last title when I retired, I wouldn't say retired, but my current title, okay, is the Street Services General Superintendent. So my duty basically is the supervising about 250 employees. These employees are civil engineers, landscape architects, and construction workers, a total of about 250 people. And I got promoted 4 or 5 years ago as, when I say my title, Street Services General Superintendent. I was the very first woman actually got promoted to that position in the city of Los Angeles. City of Los Angeles is actually a government agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was the first woman who got promoted to that position 4 years ago. So wow. there was a pretty good article about me back then in the mayor's office, from the mayor's office, and also we have this local Chinese paper. Mm-hmm. They have a journalist came and interviewed me and put out an article about me. So that basically covers my whole career.
Wow.
Yeah, the 2 articles. Yeah, so that I'm not sure if you're interested, but I don't think you're really interested because this basically is all civil engineering. So that basically is the first question in my profession. The second question is, how do I ended up this occupation? Okay. My reason for being in this occupation or start with my education, back in college and graduate school, in civil engineering was actually the encouragement from my dad. To say it in the real world is actually being assigned by my dad. I had other siblings, so my dad pretty much gave us a recommendation. You go engineering, you go dental school, you go, you become a banker. Everybody has a different profession, actually. Very interesting, my family. So we kind of listen and follow what my dad's recommendations. So that's how I ended up in this profession. Yeah. But prior to entering the engineering school, I did have a chance to kind of look at what the profession is about. So a very interesting answer, right? Mm-hmm. That's how I ended up there. Then question number 3 is what were the biggest challenges that I had encountered, working in a male-dominated field? If so, how would I able to overcome these obstacles? I guess for me, actually, in general, women in engineering is probably under 10% in general, depending on the type of engineering. But I think for civil engineering, definitely it's under 10%. So in school, there is not much of obstacles, so to speak, because basically you just go to school, take the classes, get a good grades, graduate, right? So, but competing among the guys, it's basically it's all you need to have the intelligence to compete with them. Yeah, but in my profession at work, it's a lot of challenges, especially my last position, as the general superintendent, supervising a big group of people, especially half of them, they are actually construction workers. So to supervise professional people is much easier. They are engineers and architects. So those are in general are easier, but when dealing with construction workers, it's a lot of challenges because they don't speak the same language. They don't act the same. So in order for them to listen to you, especially I'm an Asian woman, it's even harder. So my biggest obstacle is how I handle the big group of construction workers in my whole career. Actually, I would say that because majority of my career is dealing with professional engineers and architects. But my later profession is dealing with those people. So that's one of the biggest challenges. The other challenges is I actually handle. I oversee about 125 projects. Street projects. Street projects includes design, planning, design, constructions, and project closeout until implementation. So there are several stages. So the difficult part is I have to make sure my employees are on top of all the projects, be on time, and also have the required quality of the project, the scope of work, and also make sure the project are within the budget. So what's the best way to control that is I need to have the right tools and right skills. So right tools are, you need to have a project schedule. We use the software called the project. So that keep track of where the project is, how many percent into the actual project, then what you plan, and what's the cost incurred versus what the budget that you have. Are you over the budget? Are you under? Are you right on? So those are the daily, things that I have to juggle around. Not just managing the people, but I actually managed many projects in the city of Los Angeles. So I need to have good interpersonal skills to deal with people. I need to have good project management skills. Those are very challenging. Yeah. So, but overall, I think the most challenging part is dealing with construction workers again. I had discipline skills too, that I know when to discipline them when they're not doing the proper job, or when they get into car accidents, or when they get into sometimes you get on the freeway, you can see some big construction equipment, right? And then they have to know what is the proper way to park the car, park the equipment, operate the equipment. So those are the things, safety, work safety. Those are all part of my job. So you can see how to manage people to do the work, to do the project, and also to manage the money. It's not that easy. Yeah. And then if you're running behind, how you catch up, how you make your people to catch up, besides doing overtime. So I can go on and on a lot of things, but this is just give you a big picture of what I've been doing. Okay. So that to continue to question number 4, which is. Did I have any points that I want to quit, and how will I be able to push through these situations? Well, I don't think I have ever think about quitting my job. Okay, there's really no time. But the thing is, I always challenge myself. I always think about. For example, how do I deal with people, difficult people, especially they don't know my profession, they don't know where I stand, and how do I make them listen to me in the meeting? Those are the things that I constantly challenging myself and always try to find the way. What happened now? Leave for join new meeting? No, sorry, that was another meeting. So I mean, I never thought about giving up my job, or giving up my people, giving up my assignments. But instead, I always think about how to make my job easier, how to make my project better, finish on time, or finish before the schedule, and also how to finish my job under the budget.
Oh yeah.
And provides the best quality for the people of the city of Los Angeles. So that always my goal, for my daily work. So never give up, never quit, and that's my spirit. But throughout my years of experience in dealing with people and disciplining them, I learned to how do I say that? I learned to fulfill some of my goals in how to deal with different type of people. Yeah. This is not something you will learn from school. This is something that you learn from hands-on. So I learned to know how people think, what they think, and how to make them join me in my team. That's a challenge. Yeah. That is something I don't think you can learn from textbook. Yeah. So sometimes I will take them to lunch. Every year, Thanksgiving and Christmas, I will have to pay them a big group of people for lunch. So I spend a lot of money. And that's just that's why if you are a supervisor, you have to treat your employee well. Treat them like a family. Yeah. So if you treat them like a family, you care about them, then they will respect you.
Yeah.
So I have couple people, they actually was on my back, always pull my legs when I first started my job. Yeah. So then I turn around, my boss will be in front of me, say, "Hey, you did this wrong." That, and then I know who did it. And so then I had a couple meetings with these two people, and told them what I'm expecting of them and why they shouldn't have done that. And after that they understand, and then at the end they actually turn around. They actually helped me. So that's something I was pretty grateful. That I learned the skill to manage people. Yeah. So number 5. Let's see. Number 5 is who is my personal role model? Okay, that was a question I wasn't sure, but I do have 2. Okay, I have 2. One is have you heard about Mrs. Marie Curie?
Oh yeah.
She actually was my kind of role model when I was younger. When I was in high school. Because I remember she was a woman and she won the Nobel Prize in chemistry, and she also is a mother of modern physics. Yeah, my favorite subject is actually math. But I'm also good in physics, so yeah. So I kind of admire her, but she died from radiation, basically.
Yeah.
So
yeah, right.
Right, too sad. I mean, you actually die from your profession. Yeah. So it's sad, but she leave her spirits with the world and carry on. But she saves a lot of people's because her discovery basically saved the life of people. It's good for the treatment of cancer. So. Yeah. So she's one my role model when I was younger. But when I get to my field, my profession, my role model is actually my dad.
Yes.
Not too many children nowadays would treat their parents as role model, but for me, I really appreciate my dad. It just happened he's a retired civil engineer, and he actually even managed much bigger projects than me. And he was also in the Japanese newspapers before.
Wow.
I don't know why it's kind of carry on in my family. My dad actually he used to work for a Japanese company, construction company. So they did a lot of projects in high rises. Back in 30 years ago, that was the tallest building. It was 55-story building in Singapore. I was in Singapore at that time. So, and he also had projects in many Asia countries. So he actually traveled around in several countries in Asia, and finally he ended up in the United States. So he did a lot of great actually projects. Just like in Japan, the first highway or freeway in Japan, that was actually he was involved in there too.
Wow.
Yeah. So so he's actually my role model, and during my college, he also took me to his construction job sites. So I learned to see how, buildings and bridges get constructed. Wow. So I was able to this couple design in bridges when I started with the city of Los Angeles, and some of the huge tie-back walls. So that was my beginning of my profession doing the design. And that was later on I did get into constructions, and after that project management and managing people. So then the last question. I mean, I'm not sure if you find my answers helpful.
Oh, no, they're really helpful.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. So number 6, is there any advice for women that pursue into the STEM field? I think I kind of answered this question in a way.
Yeah.
My advice into STEM basically is STEM is a wide range of professions. I mean, in general, yeah. It covers science and engineering. So science, it could be a science research, But in general, if it's science, you just have to, the advice for women at what age? High school? if I talk to different women at different age, I would talk differently, give different advice. But
probably high schoolish.
Yeah, for high school students, I would say kind of standard answer. It would be something you have to academically good in the science subjects, which is, depending on what you want to get into college, okay? But science is always the basic subject that you have to be good at. Yeah. But like say, for your case, you will have to be good in biology, chemistry. Yeah. Physics maybe so, not necessary. But biology and chemistry, you need to be good at those two subjects. So my advice is, one is be good at what you want to do. Be good at those subjects, get good grades. And the other advice I would say is shadow the profession that you're interested in. For example, yours will be a dentist. My brother just happened to be a dentist. So yeah, he has 2 offices, one in Roland Heights, the other in South Pasadena.
Wow.
Yeah, so actually there are many college graduates actually went and shadow with him. So but not too many high school, because high school students doesn't have the enough experience and knowledge. Yeah. So if you're interested, you let me know. I can check with my brother, my younger brother.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, my advice basically is shadowing on what you're interested in, and be good at school in terms of school grades. The other advice I would say, if you have your mindset for dental school, my advice for your college is to go to a college that you feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
Not your dream, okay? Usually for your dream college is something that it's probably a little bit, people think better. Meaning you may not be able to get better grades.
Yeah.
But in order to get to apply for dental school, you need to have very good grades.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to get good grades, you have to go to a college that you feel comfortable that you think you can get easy A's,
Oh yeah.
easy A and B's. Yeah. Okay. So that's my other advice for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.